Hello there, and how are you? Today, while researching an article on cybersecurity, that's one of my other businesses, Virtual Nexus Virtual Immunity, I came across an article on LinkedIn called How the Most Successful People Poop at Work in the Fast Company magazine. It's written by a woman named Lindsay Goldwert. I know I'm assuming her gender, but this is written in October 17, 2014. The interesting thing about it is, and what struck me, is that people suffer anxiety going to the bathroom at work from pooping. And the main thing she says here is the reason is that people are steeped in shame because beneath their clothing, makeup, and calculated demeanors, they are foul and gross. Okay? And how come they can't admit pleasant, predictable content? Well, very interestingly enough, I have a few things to tell you about that. The first thing is I know this anxiety very well. When I was between 6 and 8 years old at my new elementary school, when I was using the bathroom at school, the kids made fun of me and tried to grab my pants. And now that I remember clearly, they didn't even grab my pants. They did it to a kid in the bathroom, and I was afraid they would do it to me. So now I'm a warrior at heart, believe it or not. And so I would, instead of leaving myself vulnerable, I would hold my poop until I got home all day. Well, that didn't work real well for a 6 to 8 year old, and I would poop in my pants, and then I would flush my underwear and the poop down the toilet to hide it. And, this is kid logic for you. Like, my parents wouldn't notice my underwear was disappearing, that the toilet would not get clogged. And then I never told them why. I would hide everything but my fear, which was that people were going to grab me. And I don't even think I ever told them this. I don't think they ever knew. But I'll have to ask my mother. Although there's another anecdote. This when my son was still wearing diapers, I don't know, he was like 3, 4, 5, which is pretty normal. I asked my mom, I said, when did you potty train me? She says, we didn't potty train you. She says, you potty trained yourself. And I was like, oh yeah. She was like, yeah, like 1.5. I was like, this is what? Like once they told me what it was I was wearing, like that was pretty much it. Okay, that I was walking around with what? I was like, yeah, I was a pretty precocious little Indian kid. You've seen this before. They used to find me in the grocery store talking to adults at like 3 years old. It's a funny story. I have lots of funny stories about that. But you got two anecdotes. You got two anecdotes today. So I have a secret for you. And here's the secret. I don't know if you're ready for this. All right. Okay, you ready? Everyone poops. That's right. Everybody poops. That's the title of a book. Now, one of my mentors, this great woman, whose name will remain unnamed at this time, but I will reference her later, and I will get her the hits that she deserves, and the fame and fortune and accolades for the long, hard work that she's done, and she will come out. Kramer refers to his as the trading goddess, and I will refer to her as the princessa. There's much behind that. If you could see my eyes and write a poem and look in there, you would see the deep depth of the brown, the darkness that it goes, the pools, how far back they go with this woman who I love, respect, honor, and fear, which is why she's called the princessa. Do I fear her anymore? No. But the Queen of Poo, as she will often be referred to, because like all great people, she has many names. She's the one that taught me that your elimination ought not to stink. And she taught me that certain foods were good to eat and certain weren't. And I said, if what you say is true, I will stop eating the foods. And if I don't want them anymore, we will know that it's true. Well, this is part of my healing process. I went through Ayurveda. I was given this specific diet. And lo and behold, your poop doesn't smell anymore. It doesn't stick to the side of the toilet. You don't even have to wipe. Okay, and it comes out as one unbroken piece. I'm not even making this stuff up. And when she was doing this 20 years ago, no one had ever heard these things. And it was just ghastly that she would even mention these things. And she would mention in the middle of dinner, The princessa. Oh, the princessa. And now I was at the store the other day, or I was talking to someone, and she goes, "Isn't it great?" I was at the Cure Cafe coffee house down the street. I'm pointing because it's literally right there. As you'll know from being an FO, when I point at something indoors, I'm actually pointing in the right direction because I'm going to call for fire on that. Now, I'm holding back the profanity because as soon as I said FO, there was going to be B words and F words and all kinds of cussing. So at the Cure Coffee House over there, I was talking to this woman, and she goes, "Isn't it great because of Dr. Haas and how we can talk about poop now?" I was like, "Yeah, I was always fine talking about your shit, lady." No, I didn't say that. But I said something, which wasn't like, "Yeah, that's great," which is what I was supposed to say. And I said, actually, no, that's not why. Because Oprahization of things and Dr. Oz popularizes things. But whatever, you know what? Thanks, Dr. Oz. You did make it easier. Now, the squatty potty is another, device which I will refer to. I'm going to have to start putting referral links. Can I make money off a squatty potty referral, like the squatty potty affiliate program? Do I want to be affiliated with the squatty potty? This is one with the unicorn and the rainbows. Now, I'm trying not to let her name drop, and I'm going to let it drop in one of these videos. The princessa used to have this little stool because it puts your knees up in the right position to go poop. You're supposed to be squatting. Your knees are supposed to be up like this. Because when you're squatting like that, and this is you squatting with your feet down, there you are, chilling, your colon gets in the right position and it's straight and it goes right out. I know it's kind of gross, but this is the thing, so here you are, squatted like that. But the way the Crapper, by John Crapper, the toilet exists, is it puts your colon in a bad position and it hits the wall and tries to go forward, and that's what causes a lot of our problems, a lot of our challenges. In fact, she taught me that there's a tribe in Africa that they would actually choose their leader, among other reasons, by the quality of their poop. Because what that tells you about a person is what comes out of them, what they're eating and what they're digesting, but it also tells you how they feel about their world and their emotional health, because that was the hardest part for me. Even though I changed my diet, I was purging pure bile and hatred. I had this since I was a child. I was an angry kid, Now, I'm quietly angry. There's a deep brooding. You can still see it in my brows, and sometimes you'll see it in my eyes. It's mostly gone, but it's still there. There's a darkness. There's a shadow. And that shadow's for many reasons. I used to get boils, all kinds of things, and that is generally from repressed anger. And they say all men of God do experience this. Joseph Smith, he's the founder of the Mormon Church. Not Joseph Smith, or any of those guys per se, but yeah. And they say some say it's due to anger at the souls of God's children crying out in pain for deliverance, for justice, for agony. All I can tell you this is there was self-loathing associated with it, and love in Jesus was the answer to that. It's still the answer to it. I don't want to sound like some kind of kook, but I got to be straight with you. It's real. It works. The atonement works. Just let it go, man. Just let it go. Just let it go. And it works. Now, it took me decades. Now, a lot of it is because I wanted to renounce and I wanted to reach the highest if possible in spiritual attainment. I wanted to pay my own debt. There's a lot of issues around that which don't belong in this conversation. The important part of the conversation was even after I changed my diet and everything. No wheat, dairy, peas, potatoes, carrot, corn, sugar, all those things. I was eating really clean and super healthy. But then my darkness was still there. That's when I had suspended perfect paradox and went on the journey further. I had to go deep, deep, deep darkness. I had to go all the way down there into hell, across the Stygian River, man, the river Styx, to get myself out of there. And I couldn't anchor. And the reason I couldn't anchor is because I didn't have love. Love is that purchase. Love is that soil. Love is that nurturing, which gives you a place. It gives you warmth, the ability to germinate and grow. And without that purchase, it's going to be a rough time. So I'm finally rooted out here. And I want you to watch those little videos about everyone poos. And I want you to know that when you eat properly, feel properly, think properly, and reason properly, your poop will actually be scentless and odorless. It may smell like earth. It may have the color gold or mustard. And that's why I'm on a cleanse right now. So I love you. And I wish you great blessings. Enjoy this post.